Hey everyone, wanted to go over what we're going to be doing here in Module 1 and give you a good overview. Specifically right now, I'd like to talk about financial planning. So like what is that and what does that entail? Essentially, it's going to be nothing more than a roadmap on how we handle money. We're going to break it into four areas: spending, saving, credit, and investing. When we talk about spending, you can't spend more than what you earn, at least in a long-term scenario. Short-term maybe, but long-term no. Um, you got to be able to save money. And one thing I want to make sure you understand is saving versus investing. Saving is a little bit more of a short-term goal as far as what we want to accomplish. And also saving should be a little bit more of a secure way to build our money. You're not going to lose it. So when we talk about investing, that's long term. Think about retirement 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. But you want to build a lot of money, and the more you have, the better off you'll be in retirement. So a lot of times when we invest, we put our money into areas where we have a higher rate of return. And what I mean by that is, again, you can simply earn more money, such as in stocks, mutual funds. But you also have the risk of losing money. And it's one of those things that saving is a bit more secure. You're not going to risk losing money, but investing is you want a higher rate of return. You want to make more money, but you also could lose money. Typically, again, stock markets go up and down. I have a game that we're going to be doing that will show exactly what's going to happen with the stock market. When we talk about credit, a lot of times people have a negative connotation on the word credit, but credit is something that we all need. It is something we have to have good credit to get. So when you hear credit, you might be thinking about a MasterCard, Visa, American Express. And people need to consider also about loans. When you want to buy that car, you don't have enough money up front to pay cash for that, so you're going to have to lend money. Same thing on a home. So you have to have good credit, and make sure with this course that we're sort of talking about what are things you need to do to develop good habits and how can you establish good credit. And again, this is going to be a little bit different than a debit card where it's going to be linked directly back to your bank account. A credit card is going to be something that you have a limit that the lender's giving you. If you've got to pay that bill completely off every month. If not, you're paying interest on that. And sometimes expenses can get very expensive. And this is where people can get into some financial problems. Another thing in this chapter, we want to talk about the 5-step process in financial planning. We're going to talk about developing goals. Well, goals are good, but again, we want to have what's called SMART goals, and that will establish some methods of coming up with good ways of accomplishing what we want to achieve. So we'll also analyze the information that what we're looking at. We'll create a plan. So when you hear the word a plan, think of the word budget. So we're going to develop a budget, implement a budget, and then we're going to monitor and modify the budget. We're going to change it as needed. But again, this is going to be the cycle that we're going to go through to try to make good decisions and making sure you have money for everyday life. Some key terms here in the chapter that we need to know would be values. These would be your beliefs. This is what's important to you. Needs versus wants. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We also have goals. We did mention that we're going to develop what's called SMART goals, but we also can have classifications of time: short-term, intermediate, and long-term. Short-term would be from the immediate future to 3 months out. Intermediate is 3 to a year, and then long-term would be a year plus for goals. We also can have something called delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is where you're giving something up now so you can achieve the greater result. And what I mean by that is, like, maybe you're saving up for college. Instead of going out to the movies every weekend with your friends and you're spending $12 for a movie ticket and another $10 for popcorn and another $5 for a drink, you're going to someone's house and you're streaming a movie somewhere, so you're not spending your money. So that's you're giving up something now for the greater good for maybe a financial goal that you want to accomplish. But that's what delayed gratification means. Going back to values, I talked about these are your beliefs. One thing of why we want to talk about this, we want to look a little bit about what influences your decision and on like buying things, okay? So your values will be very important in that area. So you're going to base your decisions on experiences that you've had personally. You're also going to have influences from your family, your beliefs that your family have, and also you're going to have your friends to influence your decisions, maybe through peer pressure. And then you have your own personal beliefs, things that happen to you through your experiences, and that's going to just simply go back to what's very important to you. So these are things that we're going to look at independently. I have a short exercise that we can go back and do a self-assessment to find out sort of what you believe in and what's important to you. I'd like to also talk about that needs versus the wants. And I hope people understand this, but I want to make sure we're very clear on this. Because it does impact our decision-making process. When we talk about needs, this is something that's basic, things that are essential to your health and security. Water, you need food, a place to live, you need transportation to get from point A to point B, school to work. Okay, these are needs. And again, sometimes like when I say food, I mean there's a wide range of viewpoints on that. You know, eating a hamburger versus eating a filet, a steak. You know, there's a big cost difference, and sometimes, yeah, there's food that can be classified as a need. Sometimes food can be classified as a want. But I think you'll see my point on that. Talking about transportation to school, you know, a lot of kids are going to be, you know, maybe starting off with a starter vehicle, that 2002 Honda Civic versus a brand new Mercedes-Benz. The Honda Civic gets you from point A to point B. The Mercedes does the same thing. However, there's a lot more to it than just having basic transportation. So that leads me into what wants are. These are the things that make life more interesting and fun, but you can really do without. So do you really need that new Mercedes to get from home to school, back to work, and back to home, and back to school? You know, maybe, maybe not. You know, do we need that new boat? Do we need the ski and snowboard equipment? Do we need ice cream? And here's a food that really is not essential for a living. Some people could argue that fact, but essentially, you know, really you're not living on ice cream by itself. And you know, dealing with wants, do you have to have that latest cell phone? Can you skip a generation? Can you wait a year? Can you wait 2 years to make do with what you have? That's that delayed gratification. But knowing your needs versus wants will be important in dealing with decisions with financial aspects. When we make financial decisions, especially on larger items, these are things we should follow, and most people do. You know, you identify what you want, and one thing we're going to do is when we do an assignment with this, we're going to identify a goal, but we're going to put it in a SMART goal format, and you'll see that when we get to that point. But I want to make sure you start hearing that word now. You'll establish your criteria, like what do you need, what must you have, you know, what features are you looking for? Examine and weigh your options. Like, does it come in different colors, or are there different options and sizes out there that I could get? You end up making a decision, and then you need to evaluate. And that last step is critical to help you with future decisions. So if you ever been in a scenario where there's been something new coming out, there's a lot of hype, and you sort of get excited about it, you get it, then realize it's not really great, and you're not real happy with that. Maybe next time you don't believe the hype, and you're a little bit more apprehensive on that purchase. So people tend to make decisions based upon their experiences, good or bad. And, you know, it's one of those things that I think it's important that you go through, and that evaluate results is important. I think that people should be doing this more than just larger items. I think you need to, you know, be a little bit more cautious and think about what you buy on a regular basis. Now, not everything, I'm not suggesting that, but I think you should be doing something like this. Also, more of an informal basis. So here's some examples being like thinking about informally, like what you need before you're making that purchase. Do you need this or do you want this? Understanding the difference between need versus wants. If I don't need it, why do I want it? Exactly when do I use it or wear it? This is a hard thing to swallow sometimes if you're only going to use it once or twice, and especially if you're buying something expensive. Um, just stop and think before you make that purchase. Can you find it for less somewhere else? I'm an advocate for supporting local retailers, local businesses, but if I can get something, considerably less, online, I might make that purchase online. And I think you need to competitive shop and make some comparisons between different retailers and find things out. Sometimes like that real cheap price, it's too good to be true, so you have to be cautious about that. But look around, see where else you can find it. Make your money go further than what it would normally here. What will I have to give up or put off buying this now? So this is the exact opposite of delayed gratification. This is instant gratification. So I spend all my money on something now, and now I'm broke for the next 2 months. So you have ramifications from your actions. Maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. But again, was it a good financial decision to make? Lastly, what I want to do is talk a little bit about a budget. And again, when we hear that the word plan, we're going to substitute the word budget on here. So we want to deal with responsible spending, disciplined decision making, making sure you're sticking to your plan with things. Again, if you're thinking about what you're buying, you're going through that decision making process, at least formally or informally, it does help a little bit. You're going to have guidelines when you develop your plan. You write things out. You take what you need. You're going to review and adjust. Again, that review and adjust is important. One thing is with a plan, with a budget, you want to try to stay on track. Sometimes that's easier said than done. But so your budget's not something written in stone. It's going to change. So as your life changes, so does the budget. So let's say you get furloughed from your work. You're losing income. You got to change your budget. Let's say you get a promotion, the opposite, where you're getting more money. Now your budget can change. You probably should be putting more money into a savings or retirement account. And then you got to review it periodically for changes to make sure you're on track. I think most people will have a budget in life. It's maybe not written out, but they're going to have it. Like your parents are going to know what their income is. They're going to know what their major expenses are. They're going to know what they spend on food. They're going to know what your cell phone bill is, the cable bill, all of the utilities that they have. They're going to know that. So, but for us, we do want to write that out. We want to make sure we can plan accordingly. And we also want to plan for the unexpected. That's going to be critical. This pretty much wraps up what we want to talk about here in the first module as an overview. Let me know if you have any questions.